Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Best PT podcast. This is episode 3.3, still dealing with neuroanatomy. This time we're doing a deep dive of the spinal cord. So the spine itself contains both gray and white matter. Most of the gray matter in the spinal cord is located in the lumbar spine region. The spinal cord proper actually ends between the first and second lumbar vertebrae. This is called the conus medullaris. And each of the 31 spinal segments has a pair of spinal nerves. The dorsal aspect of the spinal nerve is the sensory root, also known as an afferent with an A fiber. And the ventral aspect is the motor root, the efferent with an E. Ascending tracts of the spinal cord are the sensory tracts. So we have the fasciculus cuneatus. It is a sensory tract for the trunk, neck, and upper extremities. It deals with proprioception, two-point discrimination, vibration, and graphesthesia. The fasciculus gracilis is the sensory tract for the trunk and the lower extremities, also dealing with proprioception, two-point discrimination, vibration, and graphesthesia. The dorsal spinocerebellar tract is the sensory tract to the cerebellum. It deals with ipsilateral subconscious proprioception, muscle tension, joint sensing, and posture of the trunk and lower extremities. The ventral spinocerebellar tract is the sensory tract to the cerebellum as well, also dealing with ipsilateral subconscious proprioception, muscle tension, joint sensing, posture of the trunk, and also the upper and lower extremities. The spino-olivary tract is a sensory tract to the cerebellum that relays information from cutaneous and proprioceptive organs. The spino-reticular tract carries sensory information to the reticular formation and it influences levels of consciousness. The spinotectile tract deals with spino-visual reflexes, sending information about movement of the head and eyes towards the stimulus. The anterior spinothalamic tract carries information about light touch and pressure. And the last ascending sensory pathway is the spinothalamic tract, the lateral portion, which carries sensory information regarding pain and temperature. Descending tracts are voluntary motor tracts that affect muscle tone and reflexes. There's the anterior cortical spinal tract, which is a pyramidal tract. It contains ipsilateral, voluntary, discrete, skilled movement. The lateral cortical spinal tract, also a pyramidal tract, carries information regarding contralateral, fine motor movement. The reticulospinal tract is an extrapyramidal tract, deals with facilitation and inhibition of voluntary and reflexive motion. It affects both alpha and gamma motor neurons. The rubrospinal tract, also an extrapyramidal tract, carries information about gross postural tone and facilitates activity of muscles that flex. It inhibits extensor muscles. The vestibulospinal tract, an extrapyramidal tract, carries information about ipsilateral gross postural adjustments due to head movements. It facilitates extensor muscles and inhibits flexor muscles. And the last descending motor tract is the tectospinal tract. It is an extrapyramidal tract, and it carries information regarding contralateral postural muscle tone that activates due to auditory or visual stimuli. That's it for episode 3.3 covering the spinal cord. As always, the outline will be in the show notes. The next episode is 3.4, Neuroanatomy of the Peripheral Nervous System. Thank you for joining me.